Hello world, and welcome back to another video on DC Legends. This is Daniel, and tonight I'm going to walk you through the information that we got whenever we asked the question of what did you do when you first started playing DC Legends that you would not do now? And so we got a bunch of comments from people in the community at Reddit, as well as some comments on the YouTube video that we posted. And so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go through those so that this can be the second part of the video. The first one being in the previous video we talked about some of my things that I've learned in the past 4 or 5 months of playing this game, and the information that I gave as my tips and my advice to brand new subscribers and brand new players of the game of DC Legends. So let's get right into it. And the first one is from me, you, with 5 U's, and this person says, wasting gems on the 50 and 100 energy packs is not a good idea at all. And so what they're talking about is don't waste any time with these 50 energy and 120 energy packs. If you're going to spend any gems, make sure that you spend it on the bonus ones. And every once in a while, you'll see that they'll have this exact same deal for 400. And so you should definitely jump on it whenever they provide you with the extra gems that come from that, or the extra energy that comes from that. The first piece of advice is don't waste time, energy, or money, or gems, more importantly, on these two here. Mr. Optimist 457 says, always take advantage of the hero challenges that pop up. And a very timely comment, seeing as how we just got the Aquaman challenge. And so we're going to be going through the Aquaman challenge here. And so we'll be doing that here in just a little bit. So we will be taking advantage of the advice that was given to us by Mr. Optimism 457. Darkwing Duck gave us some feedback as well that says, do not gear up characters that you don't plan on using in PvP, or is not at least going to take them to a level 1. Gearing up, he goes on to talk about he geared up somebody like Batgirl that is now just sitting at 5 stars with 10 at fragments, and doesn't even use her at all, and that was a lot of fragments and energy and gems wasted there. He also says that I regret not going after the fast characters at the start. So it's important to understand that speed kills in this game. So his point is going after the Flash and Emerald Archer Green Arrow. So make sure you know who's who, and make sure that you know what the speed is of the characters. So that's one of the first things you want to look at. The only time spent on gems, only time I spend gems is if it's a low-cost guaranteed number of fragments. For example, the most recent one that they had, or they still have, for 1,200 gems, 20 fragments for the 1,200 gems that was going on for the Flash recently. This one right here is another great example of that, where you can pay 2,000 gems and get 30 guaranteed fragments of Wonder Woman. So if you're going to do it, make sure you don't just buy every opportunity that hits you. Make sure that it's going to be somebody that you're going to use in PvP. The next person is Secrete Existence. Said ignoring the Lord of the Underworld event in the beginning. This one came up a bunch of different times, and so what they're talking about is this event here, the Lord of the Underworld. And whenever they first started, all they would do is do it one time so that they could get everything they needed for the daily mission, and didn't spend enough time actually in that event and farming it out. And so as you get a little further along in the game, you need these essences to get your characters up a little further. So make sure that you take some time to farm this event out, and don't underestimate the importance of it in the long run. The next one we have is, let's see, it's Bilateral the Drums, something like that, is ignoring the Legendary Essence quest. So don't do that. Again, all of these ones, anytime that you have one of these that pop up, make sure you spend time doing them. Spending gems on stupid hero packs. Those were the ones that we talked about here as well. Don't waste your time or your energy or your money on these packs here, because you're not going to get the drops you want. You're going to spend 4,000 of your gems, and you have no guarantee or no idea out of that pack. And so don't waste your gems on the stupid hero packs. That was another thing that was mentioned. Wasting gears on characters that I'll never use, like the Joker he mentioned. And wasting time spending essences on everyone to level them up. When you first start, you're going to get a lot of characters, and you might be tempted to try to level up all of them. I would recommend not doing this. Try to go after characters that you want to use for the long haul. People like Green Lantern, Zatanna, and Emerald Archer Green Arrow are good ones to start off with, and farming those early and getting their gears up. Let's see, the next one we have is Mirror S Master. Said not focusing on character events. Again, we talked about that. Not focusing on Emerald Archer Green Arrow. We talked about that. Gearing up characters I don't even use, and buying energy packs. So again, all things that we've covered as well. Guitar Wizard 103 said buying hero fragment packs. Again, we just talked about that. So in the store and hoping to try to get something whenever you wind up getting nothing. Nightmare Hawk 0430 says focus your will and hope energy on characters that you are definitely going to use, and know which skills you need for most of the characters. So don't spend those blue, green, and red energies or your powers, these right here. Don't use these on anybody that you don't intend to use in your PvP. Make sure you focus on using those for the people that really need it. Let's see, TR1 TONE, so True 1 T1 says wasting essence to level up characters that I ended up using for just 1 or 2 battles. And essence didn't seem like too much in the beginning, but when you get to level 50 or higher, then you find out that you really need it, and you're in a really short supply of it by that point. He also mentions gears, and making sure that you don't waste your gears on characters, because you'll wind up with a lot of characters that are sitting in your stable that are just up to 5 and 6 on their gears, but you're never actually using them. And as we all know, fragments are hard to come by. Next one is ASW 10429 said spend too much energy on gearing up heroes in hero modes and hero shards. Yeah, we all have done that. Gearing up level 4 almost instantly, and after acquiring them, and the majority of them just sit there and aren't used. The next one is from OgreBarberian. I'm actually going to leave it, rather than go through all the tips that he has, I'm going to leave a link in the comment section, or excuse me, in the description of this video. So please make sure you go in. He gives a lot of really good tips to first-time people. It's going to be a Reddit link that it takes you to, and really good information that he walks through his experiences as a brand new user, and he went back and created a brand new account on a separate device and gives you a lot of really good tips. So go in there and pick that up. And that will give you some really good information as well. So again, there'll be 2 links in the description. One to the post that I put on here that gives you a lot of the same feedback, and you can read them to further detail and ask some questions of the people that I'm mentioning. And I'll also leave you the link to OgreBarberian's tips, both of which I think will be good resources for brand new users. The next one is for, let's see, for Crimson Pendulum. Says the point that I'm about to make is based off of free-to-play, from a free-to-play viewpoint. So the next couple things that I'm going to tell you is specifically for free-to-play players. So you can always use money here and there, but I would recommend taking the advice of a free-to-play to start off with. The first thing that he has to say is never spend your gems on any kind of sell unless it's going to be somebody that you will definitely use. And in rare cases, you'll get some gems or shards featuring the characters that you're looking for. So the point that he's making there is make sure that you're not going to spend your gems unless it's on characters that you absolutely intend to use all the way through. So if you are between the levels of 1 and 49, this tip is for you. You want to start by selecting 4 characters as your core for early in games, and select another 4 who can overlap them. Once you get to levels 50 through 59, this is going to be towards the middle of the game. You'll want to list all the teams that you'd like to create and then start to create them. Once you get to level 60 and above, you want to start building them one at a time, obviously starting with some of the characters that you've already built up as you've gone through the game. The next piece of advice that they have to give is don't even bother with assembling a tailored team just to meet one of the week-long hero challenges. You're just going to get frustrated and you'll never wind up using those characters again. You need to understand that if you're going to be a free-to-play player, the number one rule that you want to follow is a long and hard grind is just going to be necessary. You'll need to understand that this just takes time, and with this game, there is no shortcuts unless you're willing to pay the money to go through. The next one is plan carefully and prioritize your goals. Really good points there. And finally, he says you just want to be able to get your characters from rank 5 to the first legendary overnight, but that's just not going to happen without burning up a lot of gems. So make sure you understand that. The next one that we have is from AXURIEL. Says planning and timing every move whenever you're at the last nodes is very important. Don't just press buttons as you go through. Really think through as it's time to go through those bosses, and don't do autoplay. Really walk yourself through those last ones because you'll be wasting energy and hero fragments as you go through. The next one we have is from LEGRIV. Says read up on the state of the characters before you try to farm them. He gives Harley Quinn as an example. If you go into Reddit and you spend a little bit of time reading up on the character, you'll find out if they have been bugged or if there's something that would prevent you from wanting to get that character or try to spend a lot of time on them. So good advice there. The next one is from Seth O'Man. Says if he were to do this all over again, he would start off by farming Hal Jordan nonstop until he got him to level 1. And he would start this from day 1. Because you get 4 nodes of him in the first 3 chapters. The first thing he said he would do is he'd go in and he'd max out the leadership for him. Really good advice there. Next thing he said is make sure you get hammer time up to 100%, which is where I have it at right now as well. So that you can guarantee a stun whenever that happens. The next thing is he said he would take his self shield all the way up to 25% at a minimum. Right now I've got it at 33%. And then he says make sure that once you get him to that first level that you use your first legendary on the first node, which gives you a call assist. That really helps you get through those battles a lot easier. The next one is from Your Final Destiny. Says know who your leader is, and early on you can get a lot of characters like Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan we've shown here already. We talked a lot already about Emerald Archer Green Arrow. He's a really good leader as well, and even Cheetah is actually a very good leader. And all of those are available early on in the game, and so know what leaders do. More importantly, once you've determined who your leader is going to be, spend some time farming them and getting them up to at least a rank 2 so that you can use them early on in the live battles, in the PvP battles. The next one is from T with 6 U's at the end of it. So TU says farm. He spent way too much time farming Bane and Grundy all the way to rank 3 and didn't spend enough time or any time working on Emerald Archer Green Arrow. So I'm sure you're starting to notice a theme here. Early on, the character that you really want to focus a lot of time on to farm up is Emerald Archer Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Zatanna. And the fourth one can be your choice, whichever one you enjoy the most after that. The last couple comments here are from Marshall Cade. Said, save your gems for the heroes that you really want. Don't just buy anybody, but save them up for the ones you really want. Gear up your best players first. That's a good one. Be patient. Don't spend all of your gems on gears on unnecessary characters. And I like this last one that he says, remember this is just a game. So if you're getting too frustrated, if you're not enjoying it, take a step away, because after all, this is just a game. All right, so we got 2 more comments here, and then we'll be done for the night. This next one is from Kit SQ1 that says, focus on a few heroes. Don't waste a lot of time on everybody, just focus on a few. We mentioned that a couple times. Don't buy the superhero packs. We've said that also. Spend more time in PvP. I like that one. The more time you spend in PvP, the more of these battle essences you'll wind up with. And the more essences you wind up with, the better the characters you can get from the big arena packs. We talked about that in the previous video as well. It's better to refresh the PvP list than it is to waste time trying to beat these 12s that you don't feel like you can beat, because then you wind up with only 5 hero fragments and you've wasted the battle essence, which is much more valuable. And what's the best thing that can happen? You get 5 more shards for the Dark Knight Batman, which I think we've all started to realize is not that great a character anyway. All right, so our last comment of the night comes from Bat, GALACTICO, that says, when you hit level 60, which is actually where I'm about to get right now, so I'm about to listen to what I'm about to say. He says that level 3 materials get very, very scarce. Makes a lot of sense. He's talking about when you get to the gears here, you'll start to notice that some of these are not as easy to get. And so at that point, you really want to spend some time understanding which gears are going to get you the speed up. So what does that mean? When you go in here and you tap, you'll see the different things over here on the side. So he says to look at the ones that give you speed up. So right now he's at a 3, and if I upgrade this gear, it'll get him 2 more speed ups. So at that point, when you get to a level 60 and higher, make sure that you focus in on upgrading the gears that give you speed first. And why is that? He says the same thing I do, which is speed kills, and the way he says it is speed is king. So those are the comments that we got back from the people in the community, both from Reddit as well as from the comments that were left on the last YouTube video. Guys, I appreciate everything that you do to support us here. We do this for you, and we try to give you all of the information that we can. So for you brand new users, I hope this was beneficial for you. I hope it gave you some information that you'll be able to utilize in the game and get yourself further along. So since Maddie is not here with me, I will tell y'all what she always says, which is take care, God bless, and we will be seeing you soon in our next video. Please make sure to like the video if you appreciate the information, and if your name was said on this video, you need to drop a like and say thank you so that and I'm just joking. I want to thank y'all for giving me the information. But if I did say your name on here and gave you a little shout out, I would appreciate a like if you can drop that for us. Leave a comment letting us know if there's any other pieces of information that were lessons learned that we may have missed out on. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the videos, because we drop content like this every single day, and we enjoy spending some time with you, and I hope you enjoy spending time with us as well. All right, that's going to do it for tonight. We will see you soon. Bye.